It's been 4 months in the making, and Total CMS 1.3 is finally here. Yes! Hey everybody, Joe Workman here, and today I am really excited to announce Total CMS 1.3, right? I've been working on this update for so long. And first off, I want to say thank you, a huge thank you to all of the people that helped beta test this for several months, right? We've been adding a lot of great features, making things more usable and just plain old better. Now, I'm not going to go over every single thing that was updated, okay? There are a lot of little bug fixes, a lot of new little settings here and there added, okay? So make sure that you check out the full-blown release notes for all of the details about this update if you want to see everything that's changed, okay? But in this video right now, I'm going to go over some of the bigger staples of this particular update. So the first thing we're going to talk about is something that's completely invisible to you, okay? And that is security. This update of Total CMS brings so much more secure connections and sessions to Total CMS that it's exponentially better than the previous versions, okay? First off, your Total CMS license is now used as an API key, okay? That means that without that API key, it is impossible to add or edit anything inside your CMS, okay? Now, what that means is inside RapidWeaver, you'll notice that inside the admin core stack, you have to have the license key in there now, okay? So even after you register it, the API/license key needs to be there on every admin core stack. And it also needs to be on the content pages inside every single CMS core stack. Now, if you ever don't add in the license key, you will see a red warning inside the CMS core stack and the admin core stack to let you know that you forgot to add your API key to the stack settings. Now, on top of that, we've also added a couple great things. All of the text that is sent from the browser as you're editing and is sent to the server is all encoded now. So with a lot of hosting companies that have maybe some security rules, okay, Total CMS should be fine with all of those rules now, since all of the text is encoded before it's even sent to the server. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more secure connections. Now, on top of that, okay, Protect Stack no longer uses cookies. Okay, it uses more secure PHP sessions. So we have a lot of security now built into Total CMS 1.3. Now, next up, we have 3 new CMS items for us. Okay, so let's jump in and quickly see what these new things do for us. So the first here is numbers, okay? We now on the admin side have the ability to have a number input box. Now, these numbers save exactly as if it was a text, okay? As if it was total text, okay? But these number boxes give us a little bit of more flexibility to maybe have our users only input numbers into specific fields. And what's great is we have the ability to define a minimum and maximum. And also if they were to, tick via these up and down arrows, it'll increment by 5, 10, or whatever increment you want those to be. So while this is just saving as text, it just gives us more flexibility in terms of displaying and building our admin area so that it's easier to use for our end users. Now, you'll probably notice the next 2 things that we're going to talk about. The first thing is going to be total ratings, and these are really cool. This allows us to add ratings to our websites. Now, this is the admin interface for ratings, okay? This particular first one shows us all of the ratings that users have submitted. Now, you can do from 1 to 10 stars, and you can also configure the icons. So instead of stars here, I'm using hearts. Okay, but if we see here, I have 0 5 stars, I have 1 4 star, and 0 3 2s and 1s. Okay, and what's great is what we'll see on the content side is those are averaged out, and we'll display the average rating for all of those. Okay, we also have simple likes. Okay, so if you want to, just simply have a like button or a thumbs up, you can do that. And next is if you want to statically define your own rating for something, okay, as you see here, I could define, let's say I want to rate something 5 stars and display that particular rating on my website. Okay, on the website side, it's going to be static, but here I can control the exact rating up to the 0.5 stars. Okay, so you see we can do 4, 4.5, 5, and all the way down to 0. Okay, so this is a really great thing that we can do as well. As you see, this gives us a lot of flexibility in terms of how we want to use ratings on our site. Let's go ahead and look at the content side. So here we are on the content page, and you'll notice that we have a few different ways of viewing things. Here I have the ability as an end user, if I want to rate something as 5 hearts, or if I want to give it 3 hearts, okay? And this is remembered. So no matter when I go back to this, or if I clear my browser cache, this browser is going to remember that I rated this particular component 3 hearts. Next, over here on the right, we see that we have a static setting. I can't change this. This is because this is the setting that on the admin side, we set it to be a specific star rating from the admin side. So it just displays the static rating that we've set on the admin side. And then here's an example of a like, where I can simply like something or I can dislike it just by clicking it again. Okay, and that dislikes that, or doesn't dislike, but it unlikes my like. Okay. So that is total ratings. It's a great way of adding ratings and likes to our sites. Really awesome. In the future, we hope to integrate this in with blogs and galleries as well, so that it gives us even more flexibility. Next up, while we're here on the content side, let's look at another awesome new feature of Total CMS, and this is called Datastore. Now, Datastore has a lot of use cases, okay? Well, particularly 2 use cases, okay? First off is it's just a generic form. And essentially you can add as many fields as you want, text fields. And then when the user saves it, what happens is the content from that form gets saved to a CSV file inside the CMS. So whenever you can type in your form, saves to the CMS. Every single save of that form gets saved to a centralized CSV file. Okay, let's see it in action right now. So here I've gone ahead and added some information into my form, and I'm just going to go ahead and click save. And what's great is it is successful because it has actually saved and gone away. Okay, and let's go ahead into the admin side and see what's going on. And here we are on the admin interface for Datastore, and it's extremely simple. Go ahead and click on the edit button, and we can bulk edit our CSV file or see particularly the contents of it. Okay, you can make changes and save this bulk edit of the CSV file. Next is a simple download button. Click on this link, and the file is immediately downloaded to your machine that you can use for whatever purposes you need. Now, like I said, Datastore can be pretty useful for other things as well. Imagine you use the form that traditionally is going to be on the content side for this use case that I displayed here. But what if you put the form on the admin side? This then allows your users to input data that is then inserted into a CSV file. And maybe then you can use something like my PowerGrid CSV stack to actually display that contents inside of a table. Wow, that's really powerful, right? It gives us a lot of flexibility in terms of how we can use things. So, on either the content side or the admin side, right? The end user, submitting information for our clients, or our clients inputting information on the admin side to be displayed on the website. Okay, next up is probably the #1 requested feature of Total CMS, okay? And that has to do with image galleries and reordering them. I'm so happy to say that you can now manually reorder your image galleries however you want. And it couldn't be easier. Just simply drag and drop the images directly inside the admin area, and that order will be saved into the CMS. Again, it couldn't be simpler. If I want to reorder an image, I just click and drag and drop it where I want it inside the gallery order. Again, couldn't be any easier. Next is we have the ability to define exactly what our featured images are. When you hover over it, just simply click on the star, and that image is now set as one of the featured images of this gallery. Now on the image admin side, I've spent countless hours optimizing and improving the image upload process so that if you upload really large images, it will take it, okay? Or it will provide you a little bit better feedback in terms of why that particular image couldn't be uploaded. And it also gives you the power to define more validation rules before the image is ever uploaded at all to stop users and inform them why a particular image might not be good candidate, okay? Let's look at some of these settings. So here we have the image admin stack. And I want to say that these new settings that I'm going to talk about right now apply to both the individual image stack as well as galleries. First off, for the alt tag, by default, it's user defined. However, now we can pull in image metadata from the actual image to populate that alt tag by default. So we can pull in the original file name, the title, the caption, or copyright data from the EXIF data of the image and insert that into the alt tag. This is really powerful. Now, another great feature that I didn't mention is file names for galleries are now retained by default. So whatever image that you upload, that same exact file name will now be used on the server. Now, we also have the ability to turn off optimizing the original image. When you turn this off, the original image will be completely untouched by the CMS. It will just get uploaded and inserted into place. Now, obviously, you can still generate thumbnails as we did before, define quality and max sizing, okay? But now we also have the ability to define the crop for both portrait and landscape images. So when you have a square crop, you can define on portrait images, you want to crop from the top, the middle, or the bottom. And then on landscape images, do you want to crop from the center, left, or right? So this gives you a lot of control when generating those square thumbnail images. And lastly, I talked about having more upload validation rules. So now we can say for mode, we only want to accept landscape, portrait, or square images. We can validate the size, so make sure that the particular size of the image isn't too large. We can define height, minimum and maximum height values that the customer can upload, as well as minimum and maximum width values. Now, you don't need all of these. You could just turn on and off the rules that you want for your particular situation. I'm really excited about these new image options, okay? Because it gives you a lot of power to decide how your clients are gonna upload images to your website, right? And it protects and makes sure that, especially making sure that they upload landscape images or making sure that they upload a portrait image, just to make sure that no matter what image is uploaded, it looks great, right? This is the power of Total CMS because we have this flexibility to determine exactly and morph the CMS into what our clients are going to be doing, right? This is really powerful. I'm really excited about these new image and gallery options available in this update. Now, lastly, let's talk about blog. So blog was released in Total CMS 1.2, and it was awesome. People are absolutely loving it, okay? And I'm glad to say that we've made it even better in version 1.3. So in terms of there are a bunch of bug fixes and new little settings here and there. Check the release notes for that, okay? But a couple big things that we've added. Users wanted a new text area, okay, just to add a little bit more flexibility into blog. So we've added an extra content area into the blog. So now we have summary, content, and extra content, okay? That extra content can be added to the blog post page and can be used for whatever you want. Maybe it could be used for adding some pricing information or some review data or a little widget that you want to add to every single blog post, okay? Right? But it is up to you. Okay, it gives you the flexibility to having an extra area that you can add to every single blog post. This gives us a lot of flexibility. Now, last, if you've used Total CMS Blog before, you know that there was some confusion about how the blog linking and pretty URLs are done, right? So we've spent a lot of time doing trial and error over the past few months, coming up with the best and easiest solution to this. And I'm glad to say that I'm confident we have nailed it. Okay? We have nailed helping you build pretty URLs so that you have nice, pretty URLs for your blogs. Okay? Let's look at that now. Now, previous to this update, you had to actually add some post view page settings in the blog form stack and potentially in the blog list stack, right? All of that's gone, okay? And it's all handled from the blog post stack on the content page, okay? So this is my blog post page on the content side, and that makes sense because this is the page that we want pretty URLs for, okay? What you'll notice here is we now have a post URL, some settings here for post URL. And by default, let's go ahead and preview this page. So what you will see is when you first open this blog post inside RapidWeaver, okay, you'll see that the server setting, it says nothing is set for the blog post URL. Now, by default, it's not going to use pretty URLs. And you could just go ahead and submit this, okay? And when you submit it, it is gone. And if you go to edit and back into preview, you will never see that light box show up again unless your project has changed. Unless maybe you change the URL, maybe you change the name of this page, right? But this is smart is because it automates it for you 100%. It knows that the setting on the server is still the same inside what your project is, and it's not going to ask you to save it again. Now, if I were to look at this blog online, you'll see that it's fully functional. I go ahead and click on a blog post, and you'll notice that it doesn't use pretty URLs. It just uses the default URL structure, okay? But that's fine. Now let's look at how we can do pretty URLs. So inside my blog post, I'm going to set the post URL to be pretty, okay? And let's go ahead and preview this. What this shows us now is that it says, hey, I see on your server that you're using the default server setting, okay? But now you want to use pretty URLs. And it's going to show you what your pretty URL will be. And not only that, it dynamically builds out the htaccess rules that you will need to paste into your server file, okay? Your htaccess file on your server. So all you have to do is copy and paste this into your server htaccess file, and you're done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and submit this. We're going to say I've now saved pretty URLs on my server, and let's go ahead and test it out. Just to show you here, I've pasted in the rules for my htaccess file. So, and these are the exact rules that were displayed inside RapidWeaver for me. So here we are back on my main blog page. I'm going to go ahead and click on a blog post. And what we'll notice here in the URL bar is we're now using pretty URLs. How easy was that? So I hope you see how easy it is to create your blog linking and pretty URLs now for blog, right? It's really simple with that light box, okay? You just check the setting, the stack automatically inside preview checks whether or not your server is set up properly, okay? And tells you exactly what it should do. And all you have to do is click submit and it's done. It's all done for you straight in RapidWeaver. It's really, really awesome. Now, I have done one more thing for blog, okay? And it's kind of outside of Total CMS a little bit. I created an app called Total Move. And right now what it does is it supports Tumblr right now only, but we hope to add more things in the future. But what it does is it allows you to connect to your blog. If you have a blog with Tumblr, simply connect to Tumblr and it downloads your entire blog and all of its images for you. And then what it does is it creates a Total CMS instance for you automatically. So it creates some files on your local Mac that all you need to do is upload to your server into the CMS data folder, and you magically have your entire Tumblr blog migrated into Total CMS in minutes, right? It's really cool, very easy to use, and I'm so excited to have this now to help people migrate from services like Tumblr and others in the future into Total CMS. This way, we're not losing potentially years of blog data, right? This is a really big win. Now, before we go, I have a couple small little things maybe to add, okay? First off, I've added Wistia support into videos, right? I think that's really cool. So now we have YouTube, Vimeo, and Wistia. Wistia is a great new service that provides really beautiful videos and customized skins for the player and some really advanced analytics for your videos as well. So make sure if you are using Wistia, all you need to do is paste in the Wistia URL to your video and it's magically embedded in your CMS. Couldn't be any easier. And last but not least, we've added a feature into the Total Admin Core stack. So a problem that users have had in the past is that they've downloaded and updated Total CMS stacks, but they forgot to republish all files. So what happens is the CMS on the server is out of date and it's not in sync with the stacks. So what I've done is we now have a warning inside preview on admin pages that says, hey, the CMS on your server is out of date. Make sure that you republish all files next time you actually do a publish, okay? This will alleviate a lot of issues that people are like, hey, I've updated my stacks, but I potentially still see this problem. Well, it's because you didn't republish all files. And you can, if you want to ignore it for now, you can just click on this and it will go away, okay? But it's a nice convenient warning to let you know that, hey, the CMS on your server is a little bit out of date. You might want to republish all files next time you're ready to publish. So that is the Total CMS 1.3 update, right? Some really solid features added to this update, right? I'm happy that we've spent so long painstakingly combing over every single feature here in this update, making sure that it is solid, right? Total CMS is just feels so awesome and solid now. Solid is just a great word for it. Easy to use, more customizable for you and your clients, right? It's just my favorite CMS. It's turned into such an amazing product and more, it's gaining a lot of popularity, right? We've had users just do some things that just blew my mind. Like, what? I never even thought of that, right? So make sure you're checking out Weaver Space and seeing all the amazing updates and things that people are doing with that, with the CMS there. They're doing some really stellar things, okay? So I hope you enjoy this update. I hope you like all the new features and the new image upload stuff, the new data store and ratings and the numbers, right? And the new features in blog. It's just easier to use. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoy it and we'll see you next time. Bye.